That's exactly what I'm saying, because I think it makes a mockery of the women's game. If the focus on, now we just have to have people because of marketing and their intention, and they're not as talented, and we're not putting the best.
I honestly can't understand what goes through the minds of some WNBA analysts. How do they form these opinions? And more importantly, how does ESPN continue to employ them to cover the league? And Molly Qerim, a well-known ESPN host, made inflammatory remarks about Caitlin Clark, one of the WNBA's brightest emerging stars. Her live comments didn't just spark outrage, they ignited a broader conversation about the way media portrays and critiques female athletes, particularly in the WNBA. Qerim suggested that players like Clark, despite drawing huge audiences and media attention, represent more of a marketing strategy than genuine basketball talent. This provocative stance immediately triggered backlash from fans, fellow analysts, and athletes. In a league where women constantly fight for recognition and respect, dismissing Clark's accomplishments felt not only unfair, but fundamentally out of touch. The uproar that followed exposed deeper issues in sports media, especially the persistent bias that often colors coverage of women's sports.
All I gotta say is she's lucky this UConn team isn't healthy. And that's a true statement.
That's wrong, Molly.
Monica?
That's wrong, Molly. Molly, it's excuses.
5 top players,
it's excuses,
am I right?
Molly. It's
Major
excuses.
injuries.
You would not be saying that if it wasn't UConn.
Major stars not playing.
Listen, excuse me, it's her against Caitlin Clark.
Stephen A.
Ain't no excuses.
Stephen
you
A.
got there.
Wait a minute.
Don't want to hear that now.
Stephen A.
Let me tell you, if Georgetown
Becker,
get back in the mix, I'm going to be insufferable. I'm just telling you that now.
What?
If Paige Beckers didn't basically miss 2 seasons, I don't know if we'd be talking about Caitlin Clark the way we are now.
Caitlin Clark first captured national attention during her remarkable college basketball career, where her on-court brilliance was nothing short of extraordinary. She quickly became a household name, not just because of her elite scoring ability, but due to her exceptional basketball IQ, playmaking vision, and leadership. At the University of Iowa, Clark consistently led her team to success, setting numerous records and showcasing an ability to hit deep three-pointers, create for her teammates, and perform under pressure. Her thrilling style of play drew comparisons to some of the greatest players in women's basketball, and it felt inevitable that she would make an immediate impact in the WNBA. Yet, despite her stellar achievements, Clark has faced criticism and resistance from parts of the sports media. This became especially clear following controversial remarks from ESPN host Molly Qerim, who downplayed Clark's contributions to the league. Qerim suggested that Caitlin Clark was more of a marketing tool than a basketball talent, implying her popularity was based more on image than skill. She even claimed that Clark's presence was a mockery of women's basketball, rather than a genuine boost to the WNBA. These comments sparked widespread backlash, not just because they targeted Clark, but because they revealed a larger issue: the persistent tendency in sports media to undervalue and scrutinize female athletes, even when they're setting records and elevating their sport. For a young player like Clark, who has proven herself repeatedly, such harsh public criticism is not only disheartening but fundamentally unjust. Despite the noise, Caitlin Clark has continued to excel on the court, letting her game speak louder than any pundit's opinion. With grace and class, she has refused to be drawn into the controversy. Instead, she remains focused on improving her craft and contributing to her team, breaking records, and maintaining the poise of a seasoned professional. Qerim's assertion that Clark is merely drawing attention without improving the quality of play misses a crucial point. The WNBA has long struggled to gain the mainstream recognition it deserves, not due to a lack of talent, but because of media neglect and societal bias. When a player like Caitlin Clark brings in new fans, increases viewership, and sparks national conversation, all while performing at a high level, that's not a detriment to the league, it's an asset. Her combination of talent and marketability is exactly what the WNBA needs to thrive and grow. Another contentious part of Qerim's commentary involved her support for Caitlin Clark's exclusion from Team USA for the upcoming Olympics. Despite Clark's incredible college career and undeniable skill, she was left off the roster, a decision that puzzled many fans. Qerim backed the move, expressing satisfaction with Clark's omission. But true to form, Clark responded with humility and maturity. Acknowledging the difficulty of earning a spot on such a prestigious team, she expressed her intent to keep working hard and hopefully earn a place in the 2028 Olympics. Caitlin Clark continues to carry herself with dignity, determination, and authenticity. In doing so, she not only defies her critics, she also inspires a new generation of fans and players, helping to redefine the narrative around women's basketball.
I'm excited for the girls that are on the team. I know it's the most competitive team in the world, and I know it could have gone either way, of me being on the team, me not being on the team. So, I'm excited for them. I'm going to be rooting them on to win gold. I was a kid that grew up watching the Olympics, So yeah, it'll be fun to watch them.
What was your level of disappointment not hearing your name on the roster?
Honestly, no disappointment. Like, I think it just gives you something to work for. You know, it's a dream. You know, hopefully one day I can be there, and I think it's just a little more motivation. We remember that, and you know, hopefully in 4 years, when 4 years comes back around, you know, I can be there.
KM's justification for Caitlin Clark's exclusion from Team USA was that Clark simply wasn't good enough to compete at the international level, a claim that many found puzzling, if not outright absurd, given Clark's dominant track record in the NCAA. To suggest that a player of her caliber didn't deserve a spot on the national team felt not only misguided, but also hinted at a deeper bias. For KM to publicly celebrate Clark's omission from the Olympic roster came across as more of a personal jab than a fair analysis. It targeted a young athlete who is already navigating the challenges of transitioning to the professional level while under intense public scrutiny. In a sport where respect is often earned the hard way, Clark's journey has been no exception. As is often the case in sports, the most effective response to criticism is performance, and Caitlin Clark has answered in spectacular fashion. In the wake of KM's comments and her Team USA snub, Clark has continued to let her play do the talking. Her performances in the WNBA, especially in matchups against top-tier teams like the Chicago Sky and Los Angeles Sparks, have been nothing short of exceptional. In those games, Clark has put on a masterclass, displaying her elite scoring ability, sharp court vision, and the poise to elevate everyone around her. She's proving not only that she belongs in the league, but that she's quickly becoming one of its brightest stars.